Hello, everybody. This is Noah and John, and we are from UrbanDigs, and it is Monday, so you're going to get your Brooklyn weekly market update. John, let's get right to it. I'm looking at Brooklyn supply came in at 3,088. Looks like it's going down just a little bit. Show me that chart.
Yeah, I mean, Brooklyn supply is a whole lot of nothing. I mean, if you look at this chart, Noah, we have been in a plus or minus 5% range since January. I mean, Brooklyn supply seems to be pegged right around 3,000. It goes up a little, comes down a little, but that is the range we are in.
Yeah, I like that. It's definitely anchored to the 3,000 level. It's not making much moves above or beyond that. Let's just leave it there. Pending sales also doing similar things, but it looks like it's bottoming out 3,066. Johnny, show me that chart.
It is bottoming out and also around the 3,000 level. So that's one of the things that's making the Brooklyn markets really interesting right now is that pending sales saw a peak certainly around 3,500 or so and has been coming off, but it looks like it's found a little bit of a bid down there around 3,000 and it's holding on.
Yeah, and that's why the market pulse is rising in Brooklyn. This was in the low 90s, and now it's going back up. And soon it looks like it's going to breach the 1, which means there'll be more pending sales than active inventory. Hasn't happened yet. Let's see if it does. We got a few more weeks left in the season. In the meantime, let's go to those weeklies, Johnny. I'm looking at Brooklyn weekly supply and new stuff to come to market, 230 things. Show me that chart.
At 230, that's nothing really to sneeze at for Brooklyn. I mean, that's a solid listing week. It's still down from what was listed the same week last year. But overall, the listing trend, as you saw with supply, is generally flat. So what comes on this week is probably not going to show up next week, just as things happen.
Yeah, they're selling quick if they're priced right. Let's take a look at that deal volume. What's going on with the weekly contract sign? They came in at 219, up a little bit, not as much as supply. Johnny, show me that chart.
Yeah, still another week over 200. That's up almost, 3% or so from last week. So deal volume tends on a weekly level tends to be very, very transactional here. We're getting a lot of deals done in Brooklyn, and heading into the close of the year, I would expect this number to kind of stay where it is until we hit sort of Thanksgiving-ish, and then we might see a decline. But for right now, this is an extremely transactional market.
Yeah, it's very liquid. It's very liquid. That's a good point, John. Anything over 200 is a very liquid market considering where supply is. And let's just look at this. You got 32 things leaving the active marketplace. You only got 230 things coming back on. So supply is pressured down in Brooklyn. And I don't think buyers are going to get any kind of reprieve there. Let's just take a look at what Brooklyn listing discounts have been looking at since 2020. This is a really interesting chart, Johnny. Why don't you explain to everyone what we're looking at here?
So we basically took all of the Brooklyn listing discounts and we broke them into their days on markets buckets. And so you can basically see the deals that closed within a certain time frame, how well they did in terms of original listing discount. And that dotted line is the overall. And then you can kind of see how the relative buckets did, versus that overall. So that blue line down at the bottom, those are the deals signed in less than 30 days. And as you can see, that is below 0 at the moment. And I'll tell you, really, that's obviously a sign of strength, Noah, but look at that top line. That's the orange line. That is deals that have taken over 120 days to sign. And right now that is, what is that, like 8%? So if you're lingering on the market and you've gone through all kinds of price cuts in Brooklyn, you're still looking at 92% of your ask if you're a seller. So that to me is a real sign of strength in this market.
Yeah, you guys got to go into days on market mode, right? Days on market mode. All right. Try to, if you're having trouble absorbing this chart, the higher you go in this chart, the more of a listing discount you're doing. All right. This is negative, as John pointed out. So those under 30 days, if you're lucky enough to get something signed into contract in under 30 days, you add them all up. We look at the closings. That's what this is. What is the discount? You're selling over ask. You're selling over ask, and these are the trends. So it's exactly what you would think, but that cap of 8% is really, it's just not a lot. And let's just finally take a look at all those listings that are selling really quick, John. Let's take a look at all those listings that sold in under 30 days. That's the blue line, right? Mm-hmm. All those things Brooklyn in 30 days. What was that listing discount and what's that trend? And what about all those listings that sold in 2 weeks? Really,
and it's a pretty tight spread, which is, surprising because sometimes the ones that sold in less than 2 weeks are just far and above over ask compared to the ones that are sold in less than a month. But what's interesting about this chart, Noah, is when did these go negative? It looks like they went negative somewhere between the fourth quarter last year and the first quarter of this year. So basically, if you've been pricing right in Brooklyn, you've been getting more than your ask for the last year. And I think if you're a buyer
Yeah.
in Brooklyn and you've seen something that comes on the market and you've been at that open house and you've tried to bid on it within that first week, you have probably experienced this in person. Just
Yeah,
this
you probably
frenzy
have.
that is Brooklyn right now.
I just can't believe how long it sustained itself in the negative territory since that Q4 point that you brought up over here. I'm surprised it didn't have any kind of bounce up. It's just a very tight marketplace. All right. Thank you very much, Johnny Walkup, for pulling up all those great charts. It's fantastic. That is Johnny. I am Noah. We are both from UrbanDigs. Don't forget, you guys got questions. We got answers. Check out our forum. If you like any of the charts you saw today, you will find them right over here. And don't forget to check out the Jonathan Miller live chat that we're having. Johnny, we are sitting down with the man tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We sent out the registration link to everybody. If you are not signing into that, you're going to miss out. We're going to talk about the market. It's going to be great. This has been your weekly Brooklyn Market Report, and we'll catch you next time.